All right. Good evening, everyone. This is Shelbyville weather, and we are live due to a severe thunderstorm warning that has just come out here for northern Bedford County. So, if you can see here, our radar screen, you can see the outline of the yellow box right here. So, we'll go through and list some of the communities that'll be impacted by this severe thunderstorm. So Rover, Unionville, over towards Deason, Wartrace, Bell Buckle, and Fairfield, and also the Shelbyville Airport and the Vanderbilt Hospital there along 231 are also included in this severe thunderstorm warning. And this warning goes for 42 minutes, so we will hopefully this storm will be out of here before then, but just something we're going to have to keep a close eye on here over the next 45 minutes or so. So here's the current situation we have going on. There's some heavier shower and thunderstorm activity ongoing along the 41A corridor from Rover down to Unionville. And this is all pushing off towards the south and east, so towards Wartrace and Bell Buckle and Deason. But we have uh, a line of dying storms, like I was talking about earlier, up here moving through all the way down to Giles County, all the way up towards Smyrna, Nashville, the Nashville metro area. And these dying storms are actually producing some 60 plus mile per hour wind gusts. And this is a very strange setup, not something we usually see around here. Like I was alluding to a couple days ago in some of my posts, the atmosphere we have today is really something that they see in the high plains and the southwestern United States in the summertime when they have really dry air at the surface. So as you can see here inside this, if I circle this right here, we have a 70 degree temperature and a 41 degree dew point here at the Shelbyville Airport. And this really goes to show how dry it truly is, because 70 degree Fahrenheit for the temperature and 41 degrees for the dew point is very, very dry, very dry. So, um, what's happening is you get these collapsing thunderstorms, and the dry air, as the precipitation falls through it, it's a process called evaporative cooling, and as the precipitation falls through the dry air, it could actually speed up. The air parcels can speed up as they crash down towards the surface, and then it spreads out in all directions. So, this is not what I would consider a normal, type of event for us. This is very strange. We're not going to have very heavy rainfall with this severe thunderstorm as it tracks in from the west, but we're definitely going to be dealing with some stronger wind gusts here, and hopefully the Chapel Hill camera here in northern Marshall County will be able to give us a good idea of what's happening here as this storm moves in. So let me get my iPad real quick so I can read y'all's comments and also have the National Weather Service chat room up here. So let me go get my iPad real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I have returned very quickly. So let me open up Facebook here so that I can see y'all's comments and maybe reports as this storm pushes in from the west. So my iPad's being finicky again. I might not be able to look at the comments. I'll have to pull them up on my phone. And unfortunately, I am in an area with some. I don't have the most reliable internet in the world, so there might be some cutouts here and there. Stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. Just bear with me. And if I do happen to, go off without saying anything to y'all, then you know that I probably lost power, and I will continue to keep y'all updated, on the page as required. But I do want to specifically mention that there's no tornado threat today. This is a straight line wind event here for our area. There, I haven't mentioned anything about Tullahoma because Tullahoma is not in a severe thunderstorm warning at this time. I'm, just going a little bit at a time here, but there's no immediate concern for Tullahoma, but you need to, stay weather aware there over the next little bit because these storms are going to eventually make it to you. They've been kind of dodging Tullahoma all afternoon here, but they'll be over there in a little bit. So you'll definitely want to stay tuned if you're in Tullahoma. Hello, watching from Normandy. I'm live from Normandy, so welcome in. Welcome in. Midland to Shelbyville. That I don't know what you're asking there. If you're driving from Midland to Shelbyville, I guess, or you're under a severe thunderstorm warning there in northern Bedford County. Let me go ahead. I'd put it on the velocity data just so I could look here. So let's zoom in here and see the exact communities that are mentioned in this severe thunderstorm warning. So again, this warning is just for the northern, the northern portion of Bedford County. So Unionville, Rover, Deason, the Shelbyville Airport / hospital area, Bell Buckle, War Trace, and Fairfield, and then Beech Grove on the Bedford County side is included in this severe thunderstorm warning. And this is not for the heavy rainfall that is moving through right now. So I'll circle it right here because I forget that y'all can't see my cursor. But there's a few areas of heavy rainfall that's moving through right now, but that is not the main concern here with this severe thunderstorm warning. The main concern is this blob of light rain, which should be pushing into the Rover area in just a couple minutes here, and this blob of rain is what I'm really watching for the potential for some damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. So that's why the warning is in effect here. So there's a 61 mile per hour wind gust in Nashville at the international airport here just a minute ago. So, there's reports coming in of tree damage. There's reports coming in that the winds are blowing with this little complex of storms. So, you definitely want to be inside. You don't want to be outside when this rolls through. I know it doesn't look like much on the radar. It looks very unimpressive. But again, we're dealing with the dry air close to the surface, which is helping out the damaging wind threat rather than, actually hurting it. So it's a very, very interesting situation here that we're dealing with this afternoon. There's not very many times that we deal with this, type of setup with the very dry air close to the surface. Most of the time our dew points are well into the 70s. Or 60s at least, maybe even low 70s with the severe weather threat. But as you can see from both Tullahoma and from Shelbyville, the dew points are anywhere from 37 to 41 degrees. So that's very dry. That's very, very dry. So the strongest wind gusts will be moving through here just a little bit across the western portion of Bedford County. And if you're just now joining us, welcome in. We are live due to a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for northern Bedford County. So this includes Unionville, Rover, Deason, Bell Buckle, Wartrace, Fairfield, and the Bedford County side of Beech Grove. So this is where the severe thunderstorm is, the part that they have warned anyway, is going to impact. There's a heavy rainfall falling in Bell Buckle and Fairfield over towards Deason, and even Shelbyville's getting a little thunder shower here right now, and over towards Hillsboro as well. But these are not severe warned. I'll go ahead and show a little bit more of the area here, and you can see there's some stronger storms here that'll move into Moore County here after a while, and then the stronger cell up here with some heavy rainfall over Bell Buckle and Deason, and then another stronger cell here over Hillsboro. But those are not the reason why I'm live right now. It's this horrible looking monstrosity of light to moderate rainfall here over northwestern, or I guess I should say over Williamson and Rutherford counties right now. So let's look at the Chapel Hill camera here and see if they're getting in on any of the stronger wind gusts right now. Looks like their wind is out of the northwest at around 15 miles an hour. They had a gust up to 22, so it's getting up there a little bit anyway. Getting up there a little bit. But I have not seen, the Weather Service hasn't said anything about the southern warning here for, because there's a warning here in Marshall County, and if that gets extended, it would probably include the rest of Bedford County. But I'm not 100% sure if they're going to extend that warning or not. So it's just a wait and see kind of situation. Yeah, the temperature is dropping quickly. The dew points will be dropping quickly, and the wind will be picking up. So that's what we're looking at here with this severe thunderstorm warning. Thank you, Marshall, for the stars. Miss Lisa is watching from Manchester. Welcome in. Miss Patricia, I'm so sorry. I can't talk. My name is Elijah Kirby, and I am a soon-to-be degreed meteorologist from the University of Alabama in Huntsville. And I've lived in Bedford County the majority of my life. And I'm hoping that I get to continue the page here, after I graduate. So I actually have some meetings and other stuff, going on over the next few days here to get some stuff figured out. So will be interesting. Will be interesting to see how those conversations go. Thank you, Miss Serena, for the stars. Michael says the winds are picking up by Walmart in Shelbyville. Thank you. The Smyrna Airport just reported a wind gust of 59.8 miles an hour, which is pretty much 60 miles an hour here. Let me see. Yeah, it's not showing up on or maybe I was looking at Murfreesboro. Yeah, it's just saying 9 miles an hour there, so. So they have trimmed back this severe thunderstorm warning here that they have for Marshall County, but it is still in effect for another 13 minutes for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And, of course, this will be the part of the storm that impacts Bedford County the most. Is going to be this portion of the storm right down in here from Pulaski all the way up to Spring Hill. That will be the worst part of the storm. I'm actually going to look at the Pulaski camera here to, well, maybe not. So this is from South Marshall Fire Department. I'm not. I mean, it's gusty, you know. I don't know why it's not letting me. Okay, there we go. And here is downtown Lewisburg, showing 10-second wind gust at around 6 miles an hour or so. So I don't think the worst of the winds have gotten into Marshall County yet. And it's really hard to look at velocity data too off of the Huntsville radar site because these winds are occurring below the radar beam where the radar beam is shooting up in the storm. So it's pretty hard to to get an exact view on the damaging wind potential. So let me check on one thing real quick here. And then I'm still monitoring the chat room for any updates. All right, let me get back here to the Facebook chat. Yeah, Shelbyville will be getting some storms here in a little bit, or at least some rain. You know, these storms are not impressive looking on radar, but they could be hosting some damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour here. And Shelbyville is not in a warning right this minute, but I could see that changing over the next 15 minutes or so. So there's a little bit of heavy rainfall occurring along from Fairfield over towards I-24 between the Beech Grove exit and exit 105, and then this will be moving towards New Union over the next little bit and Summitville. But again, the heavy rainfall that we're seeing right now in our two counties, or I guess all three counties, excuse me, there is no severe weather threat with these particular storm cells. It's the damaging wind gust potential with this big blob of whatever you want to call it. Right? Whatever this is, you can come up with a name and call it what you want. I'd just call it, the blob of rain. And, this is the worst of the wind. The worst of the wind is going to be in this circled area, and it's pushing off towards the southeast. And then behind this rain, we will begin to quiet down for the rest of the night. They're canceling the severe thunderstorm watch after this little complex or blob of rain with the heavy winds moves through. Strong winds and hail in Murfreesboro by Medical Center Parkway. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Miss Patricia. Thunder and wind starting to pick up in Flat Creek. Thank you, Mr. Dave. Johnny says that there is heavy rain and strong wind gusts coming through Unionville. The sun is already coming out at the airport in Nashville behind this line, so it's very, very strange how this is shaping up. Okay, so severe thunderstorm warning has just come out here for Bedford and Coffee County. So we'll go back down. I actually saw it pop up there for a second. I don't know why it went away. Maybe it'll pop back up here again. Okay, there it is. So a new severe thunderstorm warning has just come out here for all of Coffee County and a good majority of Bedford County. So if you weren't in a severe thunderstorm warning, now you are included in one, more than likely. So this new severe thunderstorm warning includes Shelbyville, includes Normandy, includes Flat Creek, Ross, Tullahoma, Manchester, Hillsboro, Summitville, Deerfield Elementary School, New Union, Manchester, and Beech Grove and Noah. Lakewood Park is also included in this. So, if I named off your community or community nearby it, then you were under this new severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for the potential for some 60 plus mile per hour wind gusts. So, 60 plus mile per hour wind gusts will be possible here. It's really hard to track. I'll be completely honest with you. I do not see, there's not very much, there's not very much rainfall happening here with this severe thunderstorm. It's just the rain, and if there's not any, if there's not any rain, if there's not any rainfall to for the radar to pick up on, when it's shooting out, then it's not going to know what the strength of the wind is either. So that's also something to keep in mind. But if you're in Shelbyville, you're going to be getting in on the worst of the wind here in just a little bit. Is anyone in Unionville or Rover, Wheel, anyone see any stronger wind gusts? I haven't really seen any reports from Western Bedford County. There is a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for Shelbyville, Tullahoma, Manchester, and everyone in Coffee County is definitely under a warning. The only communities not under a warning are actually Wheel, Pleasant Grove, and Bedford, the Bedford community, not Bedford County. Wheel, not as much. Thank you, Mickey. So, yeah, this is a very strange situation, and unfortunately, the camera just went down again at the Bedford County EMA. There at the courthouse annex, but we do still have wind speed measurements, which is great. And looks like the strongest wind gusts have been 10 to 15 miles per hour so far here in downtown Shelbyville. So they haven't really picked up that much yet, but keeping a close eye here just to see. You never know. I'm sorry if y'all can hear the buzzing. My phone is making a bunch of noise right now because every time I get a new chat room notification from the National Weather Service, my phone starts buzzing off. So I apologize for that. But there are definitely some damage reports coming through the chat room. Some isolated power poles down and some tree damage as well. So these storms have been producing damage, and there's a reason why we have this severe thunderstorm warning in place. So looks like the wind has picked up a little bit, at least here over Lewisburg and Marshall County. Had a wind gust of 13 miles an hour, so still nothing too crazy like they've been seeing up to the north. But if you're in Moore County, probably wondering what I'm doing. There's some dark clouds looking out my window here down towards Lynchburg and Moore County. There's definitely some dark clouds, and that would just be associated with this area of light to moderate rainfall. maybe some small hail down, between the Highway 50 and Highway 64 corridors. Um, I think there's a fish hatchery down there for the TWRA manages there on the Lincoln County side, but that's probably where the heaviest rain is occurring right now. But this big blob of moderate to heavy pockets of rain is moving into central Lynchburg right now, but there are no warnings in effect for Moore County at this time, so that's why I've been kind of quiet on your end. Wind is pretty strong off and on in Rover. Thank you, Krista. Yeah, there's definitely some weird looking clouds out there with with this blob of rain, whatever you want to call it here, with the severe thunderstorm warning. Now it's windy and wheel definitely picking up. Thank you, Mickey. So yeah, if you're in Western Bedford County and can let me know if you're seeing any stronger wind gusts, that would be awesome. Just a good verification for what the rest of us can expect. I call y'all the guinea pigs over there in Wheel and in Rover, Unionville, because you always usually see the storm first before anyone else does. So not much happening near Neverest Park in Shelbyville. Thank you, Patricia. Wind has really picked up in Halls Mill. So looks like the strong wind gusts are moving into Bedford County right now because I'm seeing multiple reports here. The wind picking up in Halls Mill / Unionville and then over towards Wheel. So again, there's no there's no way to really track exactly where the strongest winds are moving through. It's just a real mess on the radar. Um, it just looks like light to moderate rainfall in my opinion. So, um, it's hard to pinpoint exactly where, and we'll stay on here and read through the comments. But I mean, definitely, if you're in Bedford County, if you're in Coffee County, just be aware that we could have some 60 plus mile per hour wind gusts over the next little bit. This warning expires in 44 minutes, so we have another 44 minutes here with this severe thunderstorm warning in Bedford and Coffee County. And again, everyone in Coffee County is included in this severe thunderstorm warning. And then we have a good majority of Bedford County, including Shelbyville, Bell Buckle, Wartrace, Normandy, Ross, Flat Creek, Hemsville, Beech Grove, Beech Grove, and Deason is also included in this severe thunderstorm warning as well. So right now we're just really watching the radar and seeing what's going on. Kite flying weather in Bell Buckle right now. Thank you for the report, Marshall. Tullahoma has a little wind and rain. And also, it's I want to make sure that I'm clear that this is hard to track. Usually we'd be having storm tracks up and moving with the storm and telling exact communities that will be impacted by the worst of the winds. But Today with the limited moisture in the air, the radar is having a pretty tough time here with resolving exactly what we're dealing with. So, um, I just need some reports would be great from the ground. Crazy wind out here in Christiana towards Rockville. Thank you for the report. So, the worst of the wind seems to be coming through. Um, Rover. If I had to guess, it's probably somewhere right down in here. Because there were some reports of the winds picking up in Rover and Unionville just a little bit ago. Winds up in Wheel now. Thank you, Miss Karen. Right at Bedford, Coffee County line, we are getting moments of fast wind and rain, and then it stops and comes again. Thank you, Brittany. All right, y'all are going to laugh at this, okay? Just bear with me for just a second here, because my sister was wanting Chick-fil-A for dinner, so I had to DoorDash it. I know it's probably a bad idea for people to be driving right now, but the wind hadn't started up in Normandy yet. But I DoorDashed some Chick-fil-A, and apparently my DoorDasher just got here, so I'm gonna go check to make sure that my sister got her food from Chick-fil-A, and I will be right back. Okay, I'll be it'll be maybe 5 or 10 seconds at the most. Okay, so just bear with me for just a second. Okay, I am back. The Chick-fil-A is has been gotten, so I have something to look forward to once I get off this live stream. I have something to look forward to. But anyway, we still have a severe thunderstorm warning here that's in effect for another 40 minutes. Um, Walmart or the Walmart DC area, wind is picking up. That is Channing sent that report in. So there is some heavy wind picking up in at the Walmart DC there, north of Shelbyville. 26 seconds, Greg said. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I feel like that wasn't too bad. It could have been a lot longer than that, but it wasn't. I could be eating right now and leaving y'all in the dust. So just remember that. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. Um, but we're still watching the potential for some strong wind gusts here coming through central Bedford County and into Coffee County. Like I've been saying, it's hard to really track these storms. It's just a disorganized mess right now. But some very strong wind gusts are possible. There's Lawrenceburg is getting a ton of reports in of trees and power lines down. So there's definitely some isolated areas that are getting some very strong wind gusts. So this is the main. I would say this is the main event here, and then we might have a little bit more rainfall to get through. I'll turn it on the. There's some spotty showers here in behind, up in West Tennessee, but I don't really expect that to impact our area too much. It should start to die down very quickly once we get through this severe thunderstorm warning. And Your reports are valuable here. So if you're seeing anything, if you're seeing any strong wind gusts, please let me know. Yeah, Greg. There's not a lot of rain with this system. This is a very strange setup where almost like the less rain you get, the more the more likely that you will probably see some strong wind gusts. It's very strange. Um, but yeah, that this is what we're dealing with today. It keeps you on your toes, I guess. It keeps me on my toes anyway. And again, this is not a tornado threat of any kind. This is just a run of the mill severe thunderstorm. With some gusty winds. I'm sorry if y'all can hear my phone buzzing. It just keeps on. I'm going to have to turn it on Do Not Disturb in a minute. I mean, it is buzzing out the wazoo right now with all the notifications from the chat room. Moore County, like I was saying a minute ago, there's not much going on right now. Just some light to moderate rainfall. There's not a warning in effect, which is why I haven't really mentioned Moore County very much. But there is, the potential for some stronger wind gusts over the next little bit. Is this is the very dry air from right above the surface or up in the atmosphere starts to crash down here with a process called evaporative cooling, and that will help bring some of the stronger wind gusts down to the surface. So it's a very strange setup, similar to something that they would see in the northern plains, so like North and South Dakota, and then a lot of times they'll see a lot of these dry downbursts, dry microburst events in Arizona, New Mexico, just anywhere that where the air is fairly dry, in the summer months. It's very very interesting. Wind gusts are here in Decent. Thank you, Miss Glenda. Okay, you can't hear the phone. That's good, Miss Patty. Hopefully no one else can either. Wind gusts just getting stronger. No rain around Walmart distribution center, close to the hospital in Shelbyville. That was from Channing. I mean, it's hard to really tell if the wind gusts are going to miss Tullahoma or not. It's just the way that these with the dry air that we're dealing with, it's hard to tell, if who's not going to get hit and who's going to get hit. So that's why they went with the blanket severe thunderstorm warning, I believe, which includes Tullahoma, but y'all will be getting some rain here just a little bit here in Tullahoma. I still have another 34 minutes here on the severe thunderstorm warning. And this is for eastern Bedford County and all of Coffee County for the potential for some 60 plus mile per hour wind gusts. And again, I sound like a broken record at this point, but it's hard to tell where the strongest winds are, because the way the radar beam is shooting up like this. So here's a good example. I'll just go on a little tangent here because we're just dealing with whatever right now. But you can see, so this is a Huntsville radar site, and the way the beam shoots out is like this. And you can see that it's picking up with winds coming head on at the radar. It's picking up some of those 60 plus mile per hour wind gusts here, circled in I think that's between like Elkton and Harvest area there along the state line. You all can't see that. I just realized. Hold on. Let me scroll down even more. Okay. Maybe I can have my moment of education here. Um, so the radar beam is like this, pointed out, and it does a really good job of picking up the winds coming straight at the radar. Those bright, those whiter colors there probably indicate some 60 plus mile per hour wind gusts. Um, so there's and that's moving straight towards the radar site. But when when the radar beam is shooting up towards our area, it's not picking up on any stronger wind gusts. And it's not necessarily because we're not getting the stronger wind gusts, because I've seen a couple reports of some stronger wind gusts. But it's because the wind is moving like this and not straight at the radar. If it was moving straight down from the northwest towards the southeast, we would be getting a great look at the winds. Probably. But, since they're moving west to east, and they're kind of just skipping over the radar beam, and they're not getting a good measurement. And I've talked about that a little bit before, but that's one of the problems we are here. I mean, we're very blessed to have two radars that are fairly close to us. We have the Huntsville radar site here in northern Jackson County, about 30 miles south of Winchester on State Route 16. And then we have the radar site up here in Nashville too. You can see the gray dot here. And this is I just changed the data over to the Nashville radar site. And we're very lucky to have two radar sites that are fairly close to us, and we get a good look at all the storms, rotation wise and everything like that. But when it comes to the strong wind gust potential, we definitely have some issues. And you can see up here in in Cannon County, you can see the stronger wind gusts being picked up on the radar site, especially right here, because those winds are moving at just the right angle, for the radar beam to pick it up. They're probably moving a little bit more southeastward than I was originally talking about. But you see how they just die off there over Shelbyville and Bedford County. And even into Coffee County, the values just aren't as bright, and I think that's mostly because we're dealing with a situation where the winds aren't as can't be seen by the radar quite as well. So let me look here at the National Weather Service chat room again just to see. Still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect to our north, but nothing on the southern warning that includes our area at this time. But it does look like they are clearing the severe thunderstorm watch behind this blob of whatever you want to call it. So that's good news, but it's just not very pretty on the radar for a severe thunderstorm. Super gusty in Hillsboro, thank you. Starting to thunder in Tullahoma, and light rain and winds are picking up. Thank you for the report. So, the wind gusts have been a little strong in a few areas, but like here at the courthouse in Shelbyville, we've had a gust up to 20 miles an hour. So, oh yeah, Blob, we've got this under control, Blob. You can head on out of here. That's what I think we should say to this whole thing. Because I have Chick-fil-A to eat. I have Chick-fil-A to eat. But I guess I'll be on for another 30 minutes or so, depending on how this warning continues to evolve here. Beech Grove is dark and thundering, light rain, but stops. Thank you, Kyra. I hope I said your name right. Um, some thunder in Tullahoma. Thank you, Chandler. There is a wind gust to 53 miles per hour at the Giles County Airport, Pulaski Airport, excuse me, and that occurred at 5:50 or 5:44 p.m. and there was a 53 mile per hour wind gust there. So, um, I understand why the warning is out. There's been wind damage off to our west and stuff, but it just doesn't look like we're getting the stronger wind gusts that they're getting down there in. We're just not getting the strongest wind gusts like they received in Lawrence County and Pulaski, and even out to the west towards Perry County as well. I think they had some. No, nothing too bad going on in Petersburg unless the wind picked up. It's really the only thing that if we zoom down into Petersburg, if anyone, since this is just I'm just trying to get through this here. If you want a specific report for your area, just tell me on Facebook, and I'll try to let you know what's going on here. But we'll do Miss Rhonda here. She wants something on Petersburg. So this is Petersburg right here, and there's just some light rain falling right now. There's a little bit heavier activity here between Lewisburg and Cornersville, but if you're might be getting some stronger wind gusts, but nothing too bad. Wind died down in East Shelbyville. Thank you, Nathan. So, yeah, this is light rain. This is a light rain shower here with a severe thunderstorm warning in effect, which is probably why we don't have that many people watching. It's just doesn't look that impressive on the radar. It, in my opinion, doesn't look all that good. Miss Becky wants bell buckle. We'll zoom down here into bell buckle. I don't know why bell buckle doesn't show up on the map as well, but you can see the name right there. So I'm gonna zoom back out a little bit more, and just put a little dot there where bell buckle is, and there's nothing going on. There's no rain. There might be some gusty winds, but no rainfall is occurring in Bell Buckle, and you're just going to get some more light rainfall, and then you'll be completely done with the event. So, Miss Tammy wants Hillsboro. So, Hillsboro is under the severe thunderstorm warning. It will continue for another 23 minutes here for the potential for some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. But as you can see, in and around Hillsboro, it's just light rain. Not there might be some thunder, with the light rain, but nothing too concerning at all there in Hillsboro. Yeah, it's just not very impressive. Not very impressive. Um, and these storms didn't look that impressive when they were producing the damaging wind gusts. So I definitely understand why we have the warning in effect. Better to be safe than sorry. You know, I just popped in. In theory, should we be safe to make a drive from Lowe's in Tullahoma to Manchester near the square? Yes, you'll be, Danielle, you should be good to go. Especially, um, down 55 there, the trees are well off the roadway. Even if, the wind picked up, the trees would be out of your way enough. I don't think you'll have any issues. It's a little windy here in Normandy, but nothing too crazy. It's not raining right now, and thank you, E. You're welcome, Miss Tammy. So if anyone else has a small, has a community they want me to show here, I'm just trying to pass the time here with this severe thunderstorm warning. And I don't know if you can tell by this, but there's no tornado threat. No tornado threat. There's hardly any low level moisture available for a tornado formation, and you're definitely not going to get a tornado pop out of a light rain shaft. So we won't have anything to worry about there. Oh yes, we need to know about Fudge Around up here. Thank you, Keith. Let's go visit our friends here in Fudge Around, here in Coffee County, northern Coffee County. Fudge Around is still under the. Let me make that. You want to be able to see the whole name here, but my friends there in Fudge Around are still under the severe thunderstorm warning. For another. How long here? I'm losing track of time. 20 minutes there in Fudge Around. But I'm not expecting any, anything crazy minus, some gusty winds. The rainfall has moved out of Fudge Around for the most part. I should have mentioned Fudge Around earlier. That totally left my mind. I was doing radar homework right before I got on, so it's been it's been hard for me to focus on on this live stream. My goodness, my phone is buzzing. Dalton, you are, y'all are good in Shelbyville. If the wind picks up, just make sure you're inside. But, there's hardly any rain. It's just light rain there in Shelbyville. Alice, Fudge Around. I assume you're talking about here. Fudge Around is in northwestern Coffee County, right on the county line there with Canning County. So right off of 64 there. Let's see what the name of this road is. I'm zooming down way low here. I'm just trying to see. Well, off of Lawrence Branch Road there, it comes into 64. Off of Lawrence Branch Road there in extreme northwestern Coffee County is where Fudge Around is. Very dark south of Shelbyville on Highway 64 coming from Lewisburg/Belfast area. Thank you, Belinda. So that Canning County, is that what you're talking about? That's just north of Coffee County. They're in, north on State Route 53. There you go straight into Canning County, or out of Murfreesboro. If you take 70S, you'll go into Canning County going eastbound. Woodbury is the county seat there in Canning County. So, still have this severe thunderstorm warning for 18 more minutes. I'm really wondering just how much longer we will be under this warning at this point, because I'm not seeing anything, not seeing any crazy reports here coming in at this current moment. My goodness. I don't know how y'all can't hear that buzzing my phone is doing. I need to turn that off. I don't even know how to turn that off. I have it on silent mode already. But that's getting on my nerves. Thank you, Mackenzie, for the stars. So I'm going to go up here into Warren County for a minute, because why not? And just want to show y'all this this storm in a northern Warren County. This is like Rock Island State Park area up here north of McMinnville. But there's probably some pretty nice little hail core here coming across 70S in between Sparta and McMinnville. So if you're up in the Warren County area, then just be aware of that. But I'm not seeing anything crazy for us. Some light rain looks like it's falling down here in Tullahoma, up to Manchester, Normandy getting in on some of the light rain too, Hillsboro. But nothing crazy in terms of the wind from what I can see. So it looks like Tullahoma's gusted to 30 miles an hour. But these storms are very weak looking on a radar, and hard to pinpoint exactly where the strongest winds are occurring. And I haven't seen anything. Haven't seen any reports of any crazy wind. Rusty says there's a lot of wind and rain at the Coffee County border on Highway 53. So there is a little heavier pocket of rain right across the county line here, north of Pocahontas. And might be drawing down some of the stronger wind gusts there over extreme northern Coffee County. But other than that, it's just kind of weak looking. So we'll okay, so they trimmed back this severe thunderstorm warning a little bit more here. So this warning does not include Tullahoma anymore, does not include Shelbyville, or does not include anyone in Bedford County. So we're good to go in Bedford County. There might be some stronger wind gusts still over the next little bit, and some rain. You know, there's going to be some light scattered rain showers, but the worst of the winds and the storm should have should be out of Bedford County now for good. And same thing with Tullahoma. The worst of the wind should be done there, and we're just waiting here for Manchester, Beech Grove, New Union, Hillsboro, and Deerfield Elementary School, Lakewood Park, who are still under the severe thunderstorm warning here for another 14 minutes. 14 minutes on this severe thunderstorm warning. So if you're in Bedford County, you're good. I honestly think in Moore County, you're probably good to go too. But and I'll make an all clear post once we're done here. And I for sure I want to confirm, with the weather service and such, that we are in the clear for the rest of the evening. But we should be good to go. And just to reiterate, there's no tornado threat here with this severe thunderstorm in Coffee County. Just a um, strong wind threat. I'm gonna check the chat room again here. I'm not seeing anything. Yes, Miss Belinda, you're welcome. You're welcome. Um, I just like to be live anytime there's a severe thunderstorm warning. This warning was a little bizarre, a little odd, but with the reports off to our west, it was it was a good idea to have that warning put out in place just in case, and that's what we're dealing with here with the severe thunderstorm warning, which expires in 12 minutes for Coffee County. So I really think Coffee County is okay, but we'll stick with it here for at least a little bit longer. I might hop off a little bit early just because I have food that's waiting for me. My Chick-fil-A is awaiting me in the kitchen, so I do want to go get in on some Chick-fil-A action here over the next few minutes. Yeah, so if you're in Manchester or Hillsborough or Summitville, Deerfield Elementary School, you're still Pocahontas still under this severe thunderstorm warning here for another 11 minutes, but not expecting anything crazy. Just some, gustier winds here and there, maybe some isolated tree damage, stuff like that. But I'm not seeing anything very impressive here on the radar. Looking down to our south, though, there is a lot of severe thunderstorm action going on. A lot of severe thunderstorm warnings. Pretty active down here in North Alabama. But I think our severe weather threat is slowly coming to an end here over central Bedford County and or Bedford County, Coffee County, and Moore County. You're welcome, Miss Lynn. Thank you for tuning in. Miss Lynn, I enjoy seeing your good morning comments on my post every morning. I enjoy reading that every day. It brightens my mood up when I'm first waking up in the morning. So I thank you for for that. But yeah, there's not anything concerning here, and I think we're going to be done with the severe weather threat once this warning gets cleared out. I'm sorry for my friends in Moore County here. I know I hadn't been mentioning y'all much this evening. You have some gusty showers moving in from the west, but the severe weather threat has come to an end today, I believe. So I think what I'm going to do is just move this over to a radar loop, just for the next few minutes anyway, and we can get this thing on out of here. I really want to eat my dinner, and then I have some homework to finish up too, because I have a big day tomorrow. So a lot of good things coming down the pipeline with Shelbyville weather, hopefully. So stay tuned. There's a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipeline, hopefully, and of course I'll keep y'all updated on specifics when I can. But be sure to stay tuned for some updates with what I have planned, because I'm planning some big stuff coming down the line. I'm gonna outline our two counties here, or our three counties, excuse me, just so y'all can see them a little bit better here, and then I'm gonna put it on a radar loop. Hopefully, I think I can do that. while I have the drawing tool open. Not sure. I don't know if I can. I don't think I can. Crap. Okay. Well, we'll I outlined the counties for you there, so hopefully you can see, our area fairly well. Tullahoma and Shelbyville are only two locations showing up on the map. I might zoom down a little bit more here, just to, yeah, I think that's an okay view there. So I'm gonna go get something to eat, and I will, I'll hop back on here in just a little bit once these storms move out. Maybe after I get done eating, and we'll give the all clear and be good to go for the rest of the evening. So thank you guys for tuning in, and you can watch the radar loop here. I'll leave it up for a little bit longer. So thank you guys for tuning in, and y'all have a great rest of your evening. All right, everybody. The severe thunderstorm warning has been canceled, so I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. So there are no longer any warnings in effect here for Bedford, Coffee, or Moore County, and it looks like we're going to be good to go for the rest of the night. I'll make a post here just a little bit saying, that we're all clear. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and y'all have a blessed rest of your evening.